wish Elon Musk would buy the Scandinavian Tobacco Group and just fix all this. Please, can that happen? Can Elon Musk please just buy STG and just make it all go away? Just make it all go away, please? Please, Daddy, buy it and fix it. Please? If you feel like you're met with a lot of anger and vitriol every time you open your social media apps, you're not imagining it. A new study shows how these online networks are encouraging us to express more moral outrage over time. Reinforcement learning is evident in the extremes of online political discussion, according to computational social psychologist William Brady from Yale University, who is one of the researchers behind a study published in the August 2021 issue of Science Advances. Link in the description. Quote, "This is the first evidence that some people learn to express more outrage over time because they are rewarded by the basic design of social media," says Brady. That's a false statement. It was discovered much sooner. The researchers found that getting more likes and retweets on Twitter made people more likely to post more moral outrage in their later posts. Two further controlled experiments with 240 participants backed up these findings and also showed that users tend to follow the, quote, norms of the networks they're part of in terms of what is expressed. For a tweet to qualify as showing moral outrage, it had to meet three criteria. One, it had to be a response to a perceived violation of personal morals. Two, it had to show feelings such as anger, disgust, or contempt. And finally, three, it had to include some kind of blame or call for accountability. Our studies find that people with politically moderate friends and followers are more sensitive to social feedback that reinforces their outrage expressions, says psychologist Molly Crockett from Yale University. Amplification of moral outrage is a clear consequence of social media's business model, which optimizes for user engagement. NPR did an interview September the 6th, 2022, with Max Fisher, author of The Chaos Machine, the inside story of how social media rewired our minds and our world. Here is an excerpt. "The things YouTube's algorithms choose to show us are the outrageous, polarizing ones, because those are the things that are most engaging to us because they speak to a sense of social compulsion, a group identity that is under threat. Moral outrage specifically is probably the most powerful form of content because what you are experiencing is millions of years of evolution, the very specific environment that we, the human animal, evolved and had to learn to survive in, where you had to survive by finding a place and seeking the approval within this group, but also defending against outside groups. So what the systems that govern YouTube, according to Max Fisher, and that govern what you see there realized is that what would actually serve their goals is providing you content that would create some sort of a sense that you and your identity were under threat. The best thing for YouTube to show you is something that gives you a sense that you are part of some community and that community is under threat from some outside danger, and that will trigger a sense of alarm that will make you want to come back and spend more time watching. Fisher says, what's amazing is that if you go and look back at internal conversations within YouTube, and this is something they talked about openly at the time, what they explicitly said is, quote, our goal should not be to surface the best information. Our goal should be to surface content that is emotionally engaging, that will get people to spend more time on the platform. I'm smoking Bengal slices. And the more I smoke it, the better it gets, man. This stuff is good. When I started this channel almost a year ago, there was a hullabaloo over, it doesn't matter what it was, free speech, Second Amendment rights, these kinds of things in the YTPC. And a lot of people were upset and going back and forth. Lots of angry words. And I noticed something that surprised me, and that was that for all the anger and irritation, all the bickering that went on, no one pointed out that they weren't angry because of the issue at hand. I'm sure to some extent it had something to do with it, but nobody pointed out that this bickering was taking place because YouTube made it so. YouTube wanted it. If you have done any research into this, and you can start with Cambridge Analytica, the Facebook files would be something to read up on. Search engine optimization, go down that rabbit hole for a while. There's like the indie journalist purge of 2017, 18, 19, I don't remember. You can dig around and read up on this stuff. And if you do, you'll find out that this cancer in our social environments online is manufactured. Social media companies write algorithms that are designed to create discord. They're designed to create conflict and stir up anger. They are aware that this has happened. If you listen to people like Jaron Lanier says that it was an accident. Other people say it's not. Other insiders say it's not. Either way, it has been proven that they know that this is what they're doing. And they let that machine keep running that way so they can make money off of you. Well, I discovered the YTPC and found a place where it had not yet, it did not seem yet to be affected by this whole thing. And that was a novelty. That's an interesting thing to me. It seemed like I stepped in the door right as it was kind of creeping in a little bit. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. it seemed like, well, let me back up a little bit. I was at the tail end of my most recent attempt to go through a media blackout, like a technology blackout, as much as possible. It's getting harder and harder to get away from these things these days. But over the years, several times, I've given myself a break. I've paused and walked away from stuff. And this was another attempt to do that. This was another revolution of that in my personal life. And the last room to walk out of, it took about 3 weeks, I think, to clean everything up. The last room to step out of, last door to close, was YouTube, and I discovered the YTPC. And I thought, well, hold on a second here. When I looked at this environment that had seemed to be immune almost up to this point to this filth that the people designing the surface web are putting out there. I got an idea. And I decided to try and run some tests of a sort. Start a project that had a specific purpose. Basically, the aim being, see if you can complicate this system that they're building. See if you can throw a wrench in these gears of social media. Let's just snip a few wires, unplug some shit, see what happens, right? So I started this channel, and it's been running for the past year. Now, I don't like to talk about these kinds of things. I've done it twice now. I don't like to bring them up. It's counterproductive to the purpose of this channel to break the fourth wall, so to speak, and discuss the channel itself and what I'm trying to do here. But everything that you see, from the thumbnail to the things that I talk about, the way that I talk about them, all editing decisions, everything is a consciously made decision, an intentional move towards a specific direction that is meant to serve this overall purpose of this project, The Novice Piper. And there are certain rules that apply, that I try to stick to. Unfortunately, from time to time, and I guess it's gonna keep going this way going forward. It looks like this is gonna be a trend. From time to time, I have to break that fourth wall and do a video like this. That sucks for me because it's creating a hiccup in the process, but whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a reason that every time you turn around, someone who has been presenting for a while tries to encourage other people to get out and participate and post videos. I understand not everybody's comfortable doing that. You don't have to be. You know, if you just want to sit back and watch, that's fine. But the solution to this madness on social media, the madness I've just read about, the solution to that is not technological. I'm convinced it's not technology. You can use technology to circumvent it, but as far as if you're going to try and play around with it in this arena, technology is no good. The solution is people being conscientious with their actions and their words, taking their minds back from Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and all the other doodads. Taking your mind back and coming up with some thoughts, some new ideas for interacting with the other people. It's tricky to do when this thing is fighting you, right? When you got this machine that's like trying to suck your brains out, it's hard to do. Anybody can sit back in the shadows and just be a spectator and just watch. Any of us can do that and get upset, about what you're seeing. The next level up from that would be turning on the camera and vomiting up, regurgitating the algorithm. Anybody can do that. It's easy. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy to actually come up with some original material. I strongly encourage more people to do that. I think that more people should jump in, start posting videos. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. That's part of the solution to this cancer that we're all dealing with every time we turn on our phone. That's why so many presenters all encourage it. When I post a video, when I make a video, I'm not talking to the subscribers. I'm talking to about 4 or 5 people who are on this field playing this game with me. The people who are just sitting in the stands watching, we're not even aware that you're there. We don't hear, there is no conversation with you because you're not talking. You're not saying anything. We can't hear you. We can only talk, a conversation is reciprocal, it's back and forth. If you like what we're filming, that's great. If you are talking to us in the comments, that's great. It should be obvious. It should go without saying, but I'll say it, that I'm speaking for myself here, not anybody else. Okay, this is just my perspective. If you're not making a video, if you're not talking to me, I'm not talking to you. I don't even know that you're there. The more people that jump in and do this, the better. It gets easier as you go, and it gets more fun, a lot more rewarding, and that is only increased. Those rewards are accentuated if you're thinking about what you're doing and being conscientious. Tell me something I haven't heard. I really wish Elon would just buy it, man. Just buy it and just fix it for us. Just make from now on, anytime there's a problem with something, some company, just buy it, dude, and fix it, man. Fix it for us, Help us out here. Throw me a bone.